Welcome to the ranking show, as we teased you with last Wednesday, as we gave you a little bit of a preview, a little bit of a dry run. Every single Wednesday, we're going to be coming at you through the screen, just fondling you
teasing
gently. Yeah, just a little tease, just a little tease.
Luke, help me out.
Just teasing you guys.
Oof. But this is the ranking show. We went from the fantasy ranking show to the ranking show, dropping the fantasy. That means we can be ranking anything and everything on this show. And since last week, we have, drum roll please, the logo for the show. And people watching this live, obviously it's not up yet, but what you are listening to right now will be available as an audio podcast as well. However, we do always recommend that you watch the show wherever you're watching it right now. If you're watching live, preferably the Flurry Sports YouTube channel, definitely go give it a subscribe there. Every single Wednesday, we will have a new ranking show. If you have any ideas or suggestions of what you want us to rank in future shows, definitely leave them in the comments. And if you are so obliged, definitely head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and rate us 5 stars. As we get the show going, those ratings and reviews very early on are more important than ever. Trust me, don't need a big screen of me. Back to here. Okay. Tonight, we are going to be ranking which NFL mascot would be winning in a fight. There's too many to go through in one show, so we're just going to be doing the AFC. It's going to be as if they are their actual creatures. So we call it mascots just so it's easier to understand. But if we're talking about the Miami Dolphins, we're talking about an actual dolphin, not someone in a dolphin costume. That would get a little bit too weird. So actual Dolphins, actual Jets, actual Jaguars, all of the above. Whichever a fighter, I suppose, comes out alive tonight will face next week's winner as we do the NFC. But obviously, if you're watching live, give your suggestions in the chat as well. But we all probably are going into this with our own criteria, our own perspective. We didn't really talk about, obviously, beforehand, like what we are grading these on. But Trevor, do you have any specifics, any criteria that you are thinking about heading into this massive, important battle royale?
So here's my thought, right? So like the team like the Jets, right, in airplane, and we'll get into it more lately. Like jets can be taken down by like a ton of birds just going into their engine. So like let's say theoretically a ton of birds like get into the engine, the jet crashes and blows up. Does the jet still technically win because it lived longer?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes, whoever does the damage, I think in the end gets the win. So the bird didn't kill the jet killed everybody.
Fair enough.
Yes.
So if you fall on your sword, you're a hero in our books. Well, I think that's kind of what we have to think about it as.
That line of thinking too. Doesn't the jet kill the bird?
You could argue it's a roundabout of killing there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I said.
Where does it end, man? Where does
that's
it
true.
End?
I mean, you're telling me. You're telling me. Different show, different day. Definitely not the ranking show. But Luke, what are you thinking about heading into the series of fights that we'll be talking about?
To be honest, AFC is kind of the weaker side of this, right?
Probably. I think there's more interesting ones on the AFC.
Yeah, I think there. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I don't know. Like to fight to me is just fucking into like brute force, you know. Like, who the fucks do you put in a ring? Who's coming out on top? Who's beating the fuck out of the other one? That's all that's what I'm thinking in my head.
I mean, I think that's completely fair. Completely fair. Again, they are going to be their true selves here. So a jet is a jet. And we will be getting into, I'm sure, a bunch of different hypotheticals as we go. But we might as well just jump into it here.
Well, I think before we jump into it, we got to establish some ground rules, right? It's like a Coliseum type setting, right? There's no like.
Well, I mean, how are you getting a jet in the Coliseum, though?
Well, let's say it's big enough to fit everyone, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone is in there for the sake of simplicity. Everyone's in their natural state.
Yeah.
So
no extra help.
the Dolphins in the water, but they're fighting the jet as if the jet's also there.
Yes.
Like we don't want anyone like we're not like under the water where birds can't fly. Everyone has a fair fighting chance. I think
It's kind of like a Pokemon battle.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sure could alliances form? Sure. Is there going to be one person that everybody looks at to beat up? Probably.
Yeah.
So if you're extremely unlikable, we got to factor it in.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so let's just start off. Raiders are the first one here. So I guess let's talk about the Raiders. The Raiders, a pirate of sorts. Obviously, there's another one on the NFC side as well. But Conquerors, Raiders, right? Like not quite Viking level, but they do have swords, I suppose. What's your guys' thoughts, though?
The thing with Raiders, right, is they're conquering people, not necessarily animals or forces or machines. So I think that's a big factor here.
That's true.
I think the main factor is the lack of mobility, right? We got peg legs left and right.
Oh, true.
We don't have very good medicine there. If they have guns, they're really yeah. If they have guns, they have horrible guns that take 20 minutes to reload. So that handicaps them a little bit in my book.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of scurvy going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. That's kind of been my thought on pirates forever. Like if they're so good at fighting and stuff, come on land.
Right.
Like you don't need to be on the boat. It's just stupid. It's stupid.
Can you imagine them trying to run on sand with a peg leg? Good fucking luck.
Impossible. They would be foolish. We've seen the Raiders. Maybe that's let's dive into their psyche really quick.
Yep.
The Raiders notably only want to draft fast people, but fast people on land. So maybe they know that what their weakness is off the top, and they've been losing as a franchise because of it.
Yeah, the Davises are trying to compensate for the weak history of Raiders worldwide. For
sure. So it probably doesn't matter specifically where everybody is ranked unless you're on top. But are we thinking a D?
That's
because they do have at least weapons.
Yeah, like the swords are redeeming, and other than that, like nothing else.
I'd put them at C. I think they have guns. Maybe they get lucky. I don't know how good they are with the guns, but I think there's something there when some of the other animals are just, birds.
I think the thing that we're glossing over too is that they only can see out of one eye.
Oh, you know what? That's true. That's a D.
That is true. That's a great point.
You got me there.
Horrible peripherals.
Yeah, and they don't have a depth perception at all. Yeah, they got to be D.
Yeah. Ravens, the first of many birds we'll talk about between tonight and tomorrow. I guess the only one tonight is what I'm quickly realizing. But the Ravens, obviously, smart bird, a big bird, but not necessarily an overly scary bird, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Luke, what's your thoughts?
It's not quite like a falcon or an eagle, right, on the NFC side, but I think the Raven is like one of the biggest flying birds. That's got to count for something. It can take some hits.
True.
They can, but they also can't do much damage.
You're right.
So they're really just one of the animals at the end of the game. Like they're gonna be like one of the final 5, but it's not because they're good. Like they're gonna be like your friend in Super Smash Bros. That just hides in the corner. They're just gonna kind of be there. So I got them at a D because of that.
I will say they can last to the end if they want to, though.
But back to Trevor's point is they can't inflict damage. They can just outlast.
They could peck. The Raiders have one eye, so you take out one eye and then they're fully blind.
Okay, that's fair. I like it more than the Raiders for sure.
But all you got, there's a tactic in just surviving, and they're the only ones who can fully get away out of any of these teams.
You're right, but when it comes down to it, at some point they're going to have to kill.
Right, but maybe the person's on their last leg, and all of a sudden a flock of ravens is there. That's not great.
Just cleans up the mess.
But
I'm not saying
one
they should
Raven.
be an S tier, but I think they're for sure ahead of the Raiders.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's one Raven though, right?
No, it's plural. All of these are plural.
Oh, it's true. Okay, I got them at a C then.
Wait till we do college when we get to do the Cardinal of Stanford and the Orange of Syracuse.
Those two will be last.
Yeah, for sure. So let's do a C, and we can adjust as we go as well. If we bring up a good point, we're like, oh yeah, maybe they are fucked. Go ahead.
When you say plural.
Okay. That's going to get this off in the first show, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. When you say plural, Is that just like a set amount, or is that like every Raven to ever exist in the history of time?
I don't think we can do that. I think
let's say 3.
Yeah, I think of all of them, let's say 3.
Okay, all right.
That's a good point. Ooh, okay. Next one's going to be Buffalo Bills. So we'll go with them being an actual buffalo, I suppose. Big animal. Again, you talked about a Raven taking a lot of hits. Buffaloes can take a lot of hits, but I don't think they're really going to do much damage.
See, I disagree with you. Like, I think if you get a buffalo charging, get the fuck out of the way.
And they got 3, so you can't exactly skate around them. I think their biggest problem is I think they're the apex that everybody's going at immediately.
That's fair, Trevor. They're like, you go after the biggest guy right away.
But even like charging them, like they can knock people down, but like I don't think they have a kill shot.
Yeah, and
they can trample you.
But if you're a raider, you can get a sword on them easily.
Right. I think all of these have some sort of not all of them. A lot of them have some sort of advantage. Oh, my dog knocked something. That was really loud. I just think they're kind of the tanks. Like I think they're just there taking damage.
It's kind of like the Ravens on steroids, right? I actually have a funny story about Buffalo.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went to South Dakota once, and you kind of drive through like the hilly mountain area there, and the buffaloes kind of like the herds come through the highway, and you have to like come to a complete stop, right? So we're at a complete stop, right, while this herd of buffalo is coming through, right in front of us. And this person gets out of the car and wants to go, like, pet it. Buffalo turns, and the guy just takes off running. It's very fun.
Smart.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid people.
Yeah. Buffaloes are fucking massive.
They're huge animals.
People forget how big animals are. Like, people act like moose are the size of a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, I got a story about moose, too, up in almost Grand Marais. It was Grand Marais. Up on the North Shore of Minnesota, there's like this big woods. There's a moose viewing area and stuff like that. If you like hike a mile, 2 miles into the woods. So I went up there alone, hiked into the woods, no cell reception for maybe 50 miles at that point.
Yeah.
There's moose tracks fucking everywhere. And then I realized, oh shit, like if I find a moose, I'm actually dead.
Yeah,
they're like very territorial and mean, and I'm by myself, no cell service, and like I'm done. I'm fully done. Yeah, all of a sudden, like the mood quickly shifted.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's look for a moose. And then I went into like Rambo mode. I need to get my way out of the woods without making myself known. It was an event, I would say. It was crazy. I loved. Spoiler alert. But Bills, I can't see them being higher than C.
But I think they're ahead of the Ravens, though.
How are they ever going to even touch a Raven?
Yeah, I don't think they're ahead of the Ravens. I think they're behind them in the C.
You're right.
Because the Ravens have a little bit of defense and a little bit of offense. I don't think Buffalo has any defense, and their offense is minimal.
Yeah, you're right. You guys are right.
Okay, one of the cats we'll talk about tonight, Bengals, obviously, definitely more athletic than any that we've talked about so far. Definitely have more weapons, just naturally, than any we've talked about. Trevor, what's your thoughts on the Bengals?
They got to be an A. They got defense, their offense. They're spry. They can jump around. Those Bengal tigers are fucking terrifying. We only see them in zoos, so we don't like find out. Like they kill tens of people in villages like every year in small villages, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot in some of those areas. They're not an S. Maybe they're an S tier, but they're at least an A for me.
I mean, this is undoubtedly an S to me. Like the tiger is like probably the most ferocious animal on the planet. I've been on TikTok lately. I've been watching a lot of like the animal fights, and tigers win every single time. It's tiger.
I think they're for sure an A. I think we need to at least have a discussion about them or Jaguars later, because I think I'm leaning towards Jaguars.
Okay, let's do it when we get to Jags.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, we're not there yet. Okay, so we got Cleveland Browns
F,
and yeah, they have to be F. Like we can't be like, oh, they're dogs. We don't know that.
It's better if they're an elf, and that is telling you something.
Right. Yeah, they have 0 shot, and they have the Deshaun Watson factor, which I talked about before. They're the sacrificial lamb to get the fight started.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah. Broncos, again, pack of Broncos are scary. Athletic, big, can kick you. I'm afraid of horses, so maybe it does a little bit more for me. But I think they are ahead of these two to me.
I agree with you.
Talking Ravens and Bills.
I'm also throwing Broncos an A. Like, there's some fucking big ass horses, man. Horses are another thing, Trevor. Like you said with Moose. Like, they're big fucking animals. You know, they got big,
massive,
thick legs. You get behind them, they're kicking the shit out of you. They're fast. They're strong. I'm putting them in A.
Mm-hmm.
The only downside is I don't know how ferocious or vicious they get.
I've seen them bite people, and I assume like looking at the Broncos horse there, like I feel like it's in a pissed off mood, you know?
Right. Maybe someone just took his balls away or something.
Mm-hmm. Bingo.
Yeah, I mean they're bigger than Mustangs, which tells you something. Interesting. So apparently Broncos are rather unpleasant personalities. They like to buck. Temperament wild and unpredictable.
All right.
So I was originally thinking like maybe below Ravens because I don't know, how much they charge, but I think they're in the B category. I don't think they're Tiger, but I think they're above the other two.
I've seen some horses like beat the piss out of some lions. I haven't seen them beat the crap out of tigers, so I'll put them at B. But I think they'd hold their own. I just don't know if they could actually kill 3 Bengals.
Yep.
3 of them's a lot. Texans, we got more of a wild bull, is what I'm going with here. I'm not going with the Texan person.
Oh,
so are you going with the person?
Well, I'm thinking like you putting George Bush out on the field.
That's actually maybe that gives them a better advantage, to be honest. Okay, actually, no. You know what? You're right. It's 3 Texans, but now we have to choose the Texans. So is one George Bush, or what are we doing?
What about like Sam Austin?
Sam Austin's great. So George Bush, Sam Austin, and to round it out, who's the last? Are we going with an athlete? Are we going
Willie Nelson?
Willie Nelson.
He's from Texas? Yes. Huh. Okay, so we got a couple there that maybe could get got. Sam Houston, though, or Sam Austin, is that what you said? Sam Austin?
Oh, Sam Houston is who I'm thinking of.
Sam Houston is, yeah.
What about McConaughey?
McConaughey's great. He could, I mean, if you have 3 people fitting different skill sets in there, McConaughey could maybe make some peace, maybe get some alliances going.
Yeah.
And he's a guy who'll stab you in the back.
For sure. He's the guy you want on your team.
For sure. He's a great glue guy. So maybe McConaughey, Sam Houston. What about is Daniel Boone notoriously not from Texas? I guess. Never mind.
Yeah, I think he's from like Philadelphia. Where's Davy Crockett from?
I don't think Texas.
I don't think Texas.
He is from.
Do we want? Tennessee. Is it a trump card if we say it's Jerry Jones and Jerry Jones kind of just has unlimited supply of money for anything? Or is it just a person?
No, it's just a person.
Okay.
Are we sure we're going people instead of animals?
I mean,
I think we have to. I think we have to go with the name. Luke's right. We're not influenced by the logo.
I think they're D and they're slightly above Raiders. I don't think they're much better than that.
I think they're at least C.
Because, like, where are they getting the weapons from?
They're in Texas. They always have weapons on them.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
So, what about, like,
maybe the third one's Janet. We'll go Janet, and she's, got some pull.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. I'm going to go C.
Yep.
Is that fair?
Yep. That's fair.
Okay. Colts, I mean, they're D or F. It's just a baby horse.
Yeah.
They're probably above Raiders.
Oh, I
really?
Not much.
I'll just put them with Raiders.
Raiders have peg legs, man. I mean,
and swords, though.
Yeah, but one eye.
Half the Colts are just learning to walk. The Colt is gonna walk up to the Raider and be licking its nose like a big deer.
It's like Bambi.
Yeah, but if they're in kill mode, right? If everything's trying to kill each other,
I don't think a Colt can be in kill mode.
And I mean, what does it? The Raider has the weapon.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might be the only animal on here that the Raiders will be able to just slit its throat because it's just right there. Now we're at Jaguars. And I think by default, they're up with Bengals. We're debating about where these two are ranked.
Sure.
Because they're just another big cat that's insanely ferocious. I don't know. Like I think they're the exact same, but Jaguars are more athletic and then they can somehow stay hidden. Because we like keep finding them in random places in our country. It's weird.
It is kind of wild that Jaguars are in Florida.
They're like everywhere down south.
Yeah.
We just don't know where the fuck they are until like one presents itself. It's like Bigfoot, except for it can kill you and it's real.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking both the Tigers, Bengals and the Jags are in S tier, but I got the Bengals slightly above because they're bigger and stronger.
Are they for sure bigger?
Yeah, I just looked it
way
up.
more. A fully grown tiger weighs more than a fully grown jaguar.
And tigers can be fast as fuck too, so like speed isn't a problem here.
Okay.
I agree with Trevor though. I think they're both in S tier.
Okay. So we move both of the A up to S. Next we got Chiefs. So we got 3 respective leaders of their tribe. But I don't think their tribe mates are with them. So they may be able to call in some rain and other racist things I could, I suppose, list off, but I won't. Otherwise, I don't think the Chiefs are going to be doing much.
Similar to, I think, head of the Raiders, but similar to the Raiders to me.
I would think above the Raiders, but not much more because like they don't get horses too.
They got arrowheads and like slingshots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're barely above Raiders.
I'll put them with the D there. Chargers. So again, not influenced by logo. What is a Charger? And we could look at their mascot, and it's a lightning bolt man that looks weird.
It's a great mascot.
Yeah.
So a Charger is either like a Dodge Charger, like a car. Is it like an iPhone charger? Is it like Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars with the lightning coming out of his hands? Is it a thunderbolt?
Okay, well, this is interesting because I looked up charger. And now the dictionary definition, number 1, is a horse trained for battle.
Really?
And I do remember in high school we were the Chargers, and we were a dude on like a fighting horse.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
So, I mean, there are a lot of different Chargers. They're definitely not a lightning bolt, though.
Okay. So here's my thought. Either we give them 3 of what you just said, like the horse trained for battle, man on the horse, or we give them 1 of each kind of Charger.
I like that. I like that. If you're not going to give us a specific thing that you are, you don't get to reap the benefits of being the best thing. You get a phone charger, you get a charging horse, and you get a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So quite the eclectic crew, I would say, these Chargers. They may be higher than C then.
Nope.
By default.
They're
versatile. Here's why they're just higher than the Chiefs. All right. Phone charger does nothing. Charging horse, you only have 1. And a lightning bolt, you don't get unlimited lightning bolts. You get 1. So if the lightning bolt misses, you're fucked.
How about this? I just got a whole scenario thing here. So can it be any iPhone charger?
Yeah.
Can you give me that? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
It's a massive one. It's like a lasso, a full rope. And then we got the guy on the horse. You put the lightning bolt in the little charger. So you lasso a bunch of things, tie them together, and then you zap them with a lightning bolt.
Yeah, I love it.
But you only get 1 lightning bolt. So you really only get 1 kill.
With the lightning bolt.
Well, right. Well, that for sure. But 1 kill, it depends on how good you are. You can lasso a few things together.
No, I'm thinking of like 1 strike of lightning. I'm not thinking of like Percy Jackson lightning bolt,
Yeah, Trevor, I agree with you.
I agree with that too.
I think that shouldn't cancel it because they're so versatile that you only need the lightning bolt for 1 thing. You can use a charger to kill another thing, and you still have another fucking knight on a horse here to kill another thing.
And if you don't like that, we could make it the lightning bolt from Mario Kart, so everyone's going to get small.
Love that.
And then you just run around on a horse?
Everything gets small for 15 seconds. I love that.
Yeah.
But then it would be harder to hit them too. And also, lightning bolt
Sure.
will kill a lot of things, admittedly. It's not a guarantee it's going to kill anything.
I mean, a lightning bolt's killing everything in water.
Yeah, dolphins are done.
That's true, but they're not in water.
The dolphin is.
The dolphin is, yeah.
Well,
and the Raiders, technically, probably.
The Raiders on a boat.
In water.
Correct. I think at a minimum they're B.
I'd say minimum they're a C. I think they're a low B to a high C.
Well, we just talked about what one of the things are, and it's just a Bronco, but with also a person on top of it.
But they only have one, though.
Yeah, and a lightning bolt.
Trevor, I think you're downplaying the power of a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because they only have one.
It doesn't matter. It goes through the whole ground. Like we could get 8 kills. Boom, done.
Yeah, I agree with Zach. I'm putting it in B.
I think it's at least a B. I might argue higher later.
There's no shot it's an A or an S. There's no fucking shot.
I don't know how you don't say it, because what are all the Bengals and Jaguars going to time themselves jumping for like a group photo at the same time to like avoid the lightning? Because I don't think that's
going to hit the ground.
Exactly. So it's going to hit the ground and it goes through the entire ground. That's the whole thing with lightning. That's the only thing I remember from science class in 5th grade. So unless they all jump up, they're all going to get hit.
No.
It's a great attack against a Raven. There's not many great attacks against a Raven here, but the lightning bolt is.
I mean, we've seen it in Mario Kart. If you're in the air and you get zapped, you fall to the ground.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think there's one that can beat it in my mind, but we'll see. Dolphins, they're F tier, right?
Certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, we just talked about the Chargers. They're done.
Are they above a Brown? I don't know. I think they might be the worst of the worst.
They'll at least survive longer. They're pretty bad
true.
though.
They'll survive longer because they're less accessible.
Yeah.
That's true.
Correct. Patriots, they are just a more trained chief, I think. And
I don't know.
Better weapons.
Patriots had that spirit to get freed from the British. Like they're doing anything.
True. That is true. But how high does that put them then?
I think they're still a D. They're just the highest of the D.
I think I'd put them above D. Like they're the only ones who have like good guns here.
Yeah, I think
That's true. I think B might be too high. Those guns still aren't that good.
Well,
they had semi-autos, yeah, but
a musket you can take out a Raven. Like people have historically destroyed the buffalo population in the United States, and then I guess
that's very true. And the Chiefs did that like very well too. I have to put Buffalo down. I'm sorry.
But you got to imagine this is a free-for-all, right? They're all in there at the same time. They don't get chance to aim and shoot like when everything's coming after you.
But I don't think they're spraying and praying. You have to have some kind of strategy going into this.
It depends. If the Chiefs and the Patriots can make an alliance, then yeah, I think the Bills should be a D.
Notably, Chiefs and Patriots have not made an alliance, and we kind of killed them all.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's why
that's the problem.
Yeah, there's still ramifications from that today.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm gonna go Patriots C. I would probably put them B, but we'll go C. That's fine. I think the Chargers take them out in a heartbeat anyway.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
really matter.
Okay.
I don't know if you have a point. Argue it.
No, I don't really have a point. I had something in my mind, but I may make a case for them that they're A tier.
No.
I think that's fair.
Trevor,
I'm higher on Trevor for sure.
Trevor, they took down the biggest empire in like world history.
They were the Brits. Seasoning can take those fuckers down. That's not impressive.
They did do it. And then they started all of this here, and you know, yada yada. We got American football. So now,
look how much they did fuck up though. A tier is a lot.
Yeah. Everyone here is fucked up. Right. The Bengals and Jaguars have fucked up notoriously their entire history.
Yeah.
They're not an A. Sure, they can be a very low B, but they're not an A.
They're also
just got me with the America
Yeah,
persuasion.
just to throw one more point, they're really the only one on here with workable guns.
Yeah.
Correct. And that takes out anything if you hit it in the right spot. Yeah. I think that's very fair. They could take out the guy on the back of the Chargers horse. And then that saves a lot of lives.
And then that's done.
Yeah.
And then that's why the Chargers aren't a B. They got one person.
Right. But if they get that lightning bolt off right away, then nobody else has a person.
Yeah, that's a big fucking F.
The Chargers are definitely a glass cannon. Like, they have only one attack. If you get them off, they're done. But they have the best attack here.
So it's like the Chargers in real life.
Correct.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. Let's go Jets. Jets, I think, are just a better version of the Ravens, I would say. Right?
Are they a fighter jet? Or are they just airplanes?
Because I mean, I think it's the jet that you choose for battle, right?
Well, if it's a fighter jet, then it's fucking everybody up and it's not losing.
Unless you have a lightning bolt.
Correct.
No. They're not going to get hit. They're too fucking fast.
Maybe
but
they're
if
little
it's like
kamikazes. I don't know.
If it's like a Boeing, they have historically been bad when they are hitting things. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, it should be a fighter jet, right? Probably.
I will say, like, I know not all airplanes are jets, but a lot of them go missing.
Mm-hmm.
True. I don't know where you were going with that, but that is true.
I don't know either.
What's that mean for this battle?
Correct. That's what I'm trying to connect here, and I can't connect it.
Like, they took out 2 jets, and they're like, yeah, we won. And all of a sudden, like, uh-oh.
Here comes a third.
Yeah.
Oh, no, a second plane.
Or are they like the Blue Angels doing little tricks in the sky? Because that's a good distraction, but I don't know what else it does.
Are you allowed to, like, can they fly outside of the airspace of this arena?
I don't think that's fair.
There has to be some sort of imaginary bubble, I would say.
That's what I'm thinking. So there's only so much space that 3 jets can fly around before they hit each other.
True.
Like, this could be self-sabotage.
But, like, and to be fair, they are fucked if it lasts long enough where they run out of fuel. But I feel like they can go for a while.
They also could just be parked at the beginning of the fight, turn on their engines, and just blow everybody to the fucking side.
Yeah.
Very fair. Yeah, it's got a lot of attacks now that I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
I think it's S.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Real quick on the Jets. See, Zach Wilson requested a trade. Like, what the fuck leverage do you have to request a trade?
Well, he has no other choices.
Right.
There's no other options. He has to because he can't stay.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Jets probably said, hey, we want to trade you. Like, we're going to release this. I would assume because the Jets don't have another choice either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Should have kept Mike White.
I guess Aaron Rodgers shouldn't have got hurt because Zach Wilson wasn't supposed to play.
That's fair.
Like, people are like, how he hasn't gotten any better. Like, he hasn't done anything else yet. He was supposed to learn.
People are also like really discrediting the Jets because they were like a good quarterback away from being a really good team last year.
Yep.
Last 2 years. Yeah. Okay. Steelers. So guys working in steel mine, I suppose.
Yeah. They're getting killed by Patriots.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them at D. I think they're better than the last 2 at least.
They don't have weapons. They'll wring the neck of a dog and they'll beat the shit out of a dolphin. But, like,
a hard hat's only doing so much.
Yeah.
And steel's notoriously a great electrical conductor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're getting zapped.
Yep.
I'm glad Titans were last on this list because I want to know what we are thinking of as a Titan.
I mean, like, this has to be the best of all time.
I don't know. So I think there is a Titan that is an extremely important person, which that could be Albert Einstein. He's getting hosed immediately. But if we go Titan like the species of God, then that's an S tier.
But okay, so if we do the same thing as the Chargers, then we have to go like one of each.
I think it's an S tier if you give it even one Titan.
Right.
Like, I know you guys aren't big Marvel fans, but like Thanos was a Titan.
Yeah, that's an S tier.
Okay, yeah. We can. Okay, so just for the people listening, we went through all 16 teams, so I'm going to start from the bottom, go to the top. We have 4 that are still fighting, though maybe. Well, do we want to move anything around first, I guess? Or is it worth it to move anything around?
I like the Patriots, man. Like, I'll keep making that case. They're the only ones with guns.
I'll tell you what. In this fight, right? I can't believe I'm doing this. I think you can make the argument Chargers are A. Do not put their ass anywhere near S. But I'm thinking one lightning bolt could fuck up everything and make the S tiers fight against each other.
I think these two, Patriots and Chargers, are for sure ahead of Broncos.
I don't know if Patriots are A. I think that's a big jump. I think they're ahead of Broncos, but I think they're a B.
I mean, if they have a gun, that destroys everybody but the Titans and Jets.
But they're still not fast. They got giant coats on. That doesn't help them. They're hot. They still have like a ton of dysentery and bullshit back then. Like, they don't have a whole lot going for them.
They have heart. These are literally farmers that rose up against an empire and beat it.
Mm-hmm. Well, also the dysentery's that's a long battle. Like,
you're right. They got time.
It's not like dysentery's gonna take them out mid-fight.
I get they have heart, but when they're in a Thunderdome with fighter jets, 2 giant cats, 4 different breeds of horses or bulls, good fucking luck.
They're not.
I think they're a B.
They're not bogged down by tea. That's all in the Boston Harbor.
That's fair.
We also have to get into the mind of each of these fighters why, and we know Americans are going to fight for something, and I just don't know if the motivation's there for the others.
Yeah, no matter how stupid it is, Americans will fight for something.
100%.
But their stupidity has to be questioned.
Sure.
But
that's again, we're all dumbass patriots. I think I don't. The stupidity, the lack of mobility, the lack of good armor and shit, like that's a B.
Dude, a stupid patriot's a dangerous patriot.
If we're all wrong, we're all right. Okay? That's the old football saying on the defensive side of the ball, which the Patriots founded, by the way. Like, out of respect, and they don't need to win, but they need to be in the fucking battle.
Yeah, I need to see them there.
Yeah.
You went from C to B to A. No, stop it. Take them the fuck
underdogs? Are you saying Americans are underdogs?
We took them from
where have we heard that one
B
before?
to A to S.
What happened?
See, here's the problem. If you put them in S, they aren't underdogs. You're taking the best thing away from them if they are S.
Correct. They were underdogs. They fought their way to the top, and we ain't done fighting.
Stop it. This is stupid.
Some may call the Patriots the biggest underdog of all time.
Bingo.
No.
Bingo.
Not at all.
And look at Americans now. We're about to win the World Cup.
Right.
We're
taking that from the Brits, too.
They took
down the Soviet Union. Mexico.
Women's. We're talking about men's soccer.
That's the better team.
Trevor, they took down the Soviets in hockey.
Ooh.
The greatest sporting event of all time.
Mm-hmm. Patriots did that. Didn't see a Bengal do. Bengals haven't even won a Super Bowl, much less take down an entire empire.
Maybe the biggest Patriot of all time, Joey Chestnut, reclaimed the hot dog eating contest.
Dominated. That is very true.
He reclaimed the American food.
Okay.
What is Joey Chestnut going to do in this fucking battle? Eat something?
I'm not saying that he is, but that's the Patriot spirit.
Mm-hmm. And I got a case for the Patriots over a couple of these in the S tier. But let's read the rankings here. Bottom to the top, we have 5 in the final fight, but F tier, getting killed immediately, are the Browns and Dolphins. The D tier is the Raiders, Colts, Chiefs, Bills, and Steelers. C tier, we got Ravens and Texans. B, we got Broncos. A, we got Chargers. But in the final fight, we got the Bengals, Jaguars, Jets, Titans, and Patriots. First thing I'll say, Patriots, Americans, notably like the trophy hunt, have depleted so many big cats.
Yeah.
I think Bengals and Jaguars are done.
Yeah, 100%.
No, stop it. Stop it.
Both of them are nearly extinct already in real life. There's damn near more than 6 of them.
We're not talking semi-autos here. We're talking muskets. If you miss a shot, the Bengal will rip your fucking face off before you get another shot.
Have you ever heard of
a big cat with a semi-auto? They're not doing that.
Dude, they have bayonets too on their guns.
True. Charge them. Dare ya.
I have a question,
Bengals are
though.
massive fuckers. You can't just stab them once and they lie down.
They could probably shoot them
That's why you
at
shoot
the
them.
same time.
No.
I have a question.
Yep.
Because we're electing 5 to make the final fight from AFC, does that mean 5 have to make it from NFC?
I don't think so.
No.
If they're not
All right.
worthy, then
All right.
they're not worthy.
I guess they're not really teams. All right.
Right.
This
But
looks so good when the Patriots and Chargers were on the B.
No
and then
way.
I suggested one move, and the Patriots went from a low B to a low S.
That's what happens when you give them a little bit. They take a whole mile.
Mm-hmm. Big go. In a game of inches, that's all that matters here.
Yeah.
I honestly think the two cats, the big cats, Bengals and Jaguars, obviously the inferior species out of everything we have here, I think they're for sure out.
Yeah.
No.
100% agree.
Yeah, they have to be. Like how many tigers are killed by humans every year? How many humans are killed by tigers every year? It's pretty heavily weighted, unfortunately, in one side. I'm not saying I stand for it. I'm just saying we're humans are the master race for a reason. So
If you gave humans muskets, though, I feel like the numbers would even out.
You mean if you give tigers muskets, or
No, if you gave Patriots muskets instead of regular guns today.
they depleted fucking buffaloes with stones, or bison with stones?
Yeah, but buffaloes suck, man. That's why they're a D item.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And
Well,
we're talking about animals here.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going back to Patriots took on the biggest empire that the world has ever seen.
I've done it already. But now, okay. Luke, are you with me at least that the cats are done?
Yeah, the Cats are both done by the Patriots.
Yeah. Or
No.
any of them,
No,
to be
the
honest.
Cats and the Patriots are cannibalizing each other.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I really don't.
I don't think so.
we got-
I don't think so, but for sake of argument, I think those are the bottom 3 out of these 5.
I think it has to be. We got 3 different fighters remaining, though. So we got Patriots, who heart of a champion. We got Jets, which we are claiming as 3 fighter jets, unless we also want to do it as 3 different jets, since we have 3 different Titans, one of which is a god.
Yeah, I don't know enough about jets to name 3 different jets.
It could be a water jet.
Ooh.
It could be
Like a hot tub jet.
yeah,
Let's look up types of jets.
yeah. I guess I don't know.
Okay,
any-
so one's a fighter jet. All right.
right.
This is just giving me different types of
I
airplanes.
mean, we could do fighter jet, water jet, Aaron Rodgers.
No.
That's pretty. I mean, he could hit
Fighter
anything with a
jet.
football.
Water jet. What's another jet? Jet ski. Does that count?
I don't think so.
Damn.
I don't think so.
Jet Howard. Luke will get that reference.
Fuck him.
That's why I want him in the Thunderdome.
I mean,
So
I don't know.
What
It doesn't
about
matter.
like the jet stream? Does that work? Like just heavily moving air?
to that point, United States, like when they went to Vietnam, they had a lot of success with mustard gas coming from jets.
Yeah.
True.
I think
Still lost though.
I think the Jets are going to be tough to beat in this whole thing.
I think so too, but I mean Titans I think can beat a jet.
They have a literal god.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think they're for sure the winner here. They have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can do the song and dance all day, but Titans are going to win it. And I mean, there's no way. I'm not sure. The NFC's got a tough task.
I think they have some things. Off the top of my head, we'll wait for next week, but I think they have some combativeness to Titans here.
Okay. But yeah, next Wednesday, we will be doing this live. It's going to be published probably Thursdays on the ranking show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of the above. Follow at the ranking show on Twitter if you are so obliged, and let us know there at the ranking show on Twitter or in the YouTube comments or in a podcast review, 5 stars, obviously, what you want us to rank going forward. You know what we're going to do next week, but then after that, if you have suggestions, we'll probably do those first.
Yes.
We are of the people here. Anything else you guys would like to say before we get out of here?
Can you pull that back up for a sec?
Yep.
Just looking at it collectively, seems like the AFC North is the worst out of the 4 divisions here.
Weird.
Yeah.
Right? They're not doing much than Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, AFC West.
They have an A and a B.
Yeah, but they have no S, and the other 2 are Ds.
They don't have an S because you were pushing back pretty hard, and I knew what I was going to do with Patriots. So that's why Chargers are not an S, to be fair. Because Lightning's going to take out everybody, except for a Titan.
Yeah.
Notably, can throw Lightning. So
the AFC South, I think, if we're doing a 4-on-4 team battle here, that's what's taking it.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. I mean, you can get some good Texans that were probably just as effective as Patriots, to be honest.
Now that you bring up that point,
they should be higher. They're not going to take out a Titan, though.
I didn't even think of that. Texas took down Mexico.
Yeah, they're fighters for sure.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, we could put Joe Rogan there. He's a Texan now.
Yeah, last person you want to fight in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
I disagree. Francis Ngannou, I would rather not face.
Francis is a pussy. He's in the PFL now. Who cares? He's in the same fighting league as Jake Paul.
If he fights Ryan Bader, he will kill Ryan Bader.
Nah. Francis is Francis. He did a good job fighting Fury, though. He probably should have won.
For Patriots, I would also I would nominate someone like a Johnny Knoxville who just can't die into that.
I mean, yeah, that's very true. He is a Patriot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, it depends. Are we bringing Patriots back from the dead? Because then they're zombies. Then I could get behind them being S tiers.
I don't think so. I think they are what they are. They're impassioned fighters fighting for something bigger than themselves. And then they found it
correctly ranked.
I said it last show. You stand for something or you fall for anything.
Boom. So we'll be back next Wednesday again. Subscribe, rate the podcast, The Ranking Show, every Wednesday night right here. And we'll see you next week.